Hey guys, it's Sam the Statman, coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be comparing Sandy Koufax and Bob Gibson to see which one of these two great pitchers is better. This is just a comparison video where I compare two players. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I just really enjoy doing these. I think my fans, you guys, do enjoy these. This is some of the most viewed videos that I have are from comparisons. So I felt like, why not just do another one? And Sandy Koufax and Bob Gibson are just two of my favorite players, period, not just pitchers, just players. So I thought this would be a great comparison. If you heard someone, that's my grandma. She's downstairs. She just came here. But yeah, I just felt that this would be a great comparison to do. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's take a look at Sandy Koufax. In his very short career, Sandy Koufax went 165 and 87 with a 2.76 ERA and a 1.31 ERA plus. In 2,324 and 1/3 innings pitched, he struck out 2,396 batters. He had a 1.106 WHIP and 48.9 WAR. In his career, he won the MVP award, was a 3-time Cy Young Award winner, won 3 Triple Crowns, was a 7-time All-Star, won 5 ERA titles, and he also won 2 World Series MVPs. And speaking of the World Series, he was outstanding in the playoffs. In the playoffs, Sandy Koufax had an 0.95 ERA. In 57 innings pitched, struck out 61 batters, with an 0.825 WHIP and a 1.51 WPA, which is like win percentage added, something like that. It's basically WAR, but for the postseason. Either way, he was just outstanding in both the regular season and the playoffs. Next, let's take a look at Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson was also an amazing player, as in his career, he went 251 and 174 with a 2.91 ERA and a 1.27 ERA plus. In 3,884 and 1/3 innings pitched, he struck out 3,117 batters. He had a 1.188 WHIP and 89.2 WAR. In his career, he won the MVP award, was a 2-time Cy Young, was a 9-time All-Star, also won 9 Gold Gloves, won an ERA title, and like Koufax, also won 2 World Series MVPs. He was also an amazing postseason pitcher, as in the playoffs, he went 7-2 with a 1.89 ERA. In 81 innings pitched, struck out 92 batters. He had an 0.889 WHIP and 1.641 percentage added. Him and Koufax, honestly, were kind of similar players. Both great, of course, great pitchers, of course, but also with 2 World Series MVPs each and amazing postseason stats. This should be an interesting comparison. So now, speaking of comparison, it's time to say which one of these two amazing, iconic players is better. Now, here's the thing. This isn't exactly a fair comparison if I do it one way. The way that wouldn't make it fair is if I just took their careers and compared them. Sandy Koufax played from 1955 to 1966. However, as you may know, really, he didn't start getting good until around like 1960, 61. His first few years, he was like really bad, and those, he barely even played that much. And when he did play, he wasn't great. Really, his only true career was like from 1960 through 66. However, Gibson played from 1959 to 1975. Now, like the first and last years didn't really count. They were like short. But he still played for a very long amount of time. A lot longer than Koufax. He was good for a lot longer time than Koufax was, and that has to deal with many things, including injuries. So it wouldn't exactly be fair if I just compared Sandy Koufax's career to Bob Gibson's career. Instead, what I'm going to do is ask myself one question. If the entire fate of the world rested on one single game, if your team won it, you would win, something like that. If you needed to win a game, let's say, which of these two players would you have pitched for your team? Would it be Sandy Koufax or would it be Bob Gibson? This is an incredibly hard question. Especially because if the fate of the world was actually resting on your hands, I don't think you'd even be able to make this choice. But let's just say, who would you choose? Would it be Bob Gibson or Sandy Koufax? They're both amazing pitchers, but if the fate of the world rested on one single game that you had to win, and you could choose one of these two pitchers, by a smidge, a tiny smidge, I choose Koufax. Bob Gibson was amazing. And by the way, you choose them while they're in their prime. So in like Gibson's like 68 to 70, and Koufax is like 61 through like 64, 66, somewhere around there. It's in their prime. Who in their prime would I choose? I'd say it's Koufax. Like I said, Gibson was amazing. And in his prime, he was no slouch either. He had an amazing prime. But I think that in his prime, Koufax was just a bit better. Gibson obviously has the better career. I mean, that's not a question. But I'd say the better pitcher is Sandy Koufax. And it pains me to say that because Gibson is just one of my favorite players ever. But I think that Koufax is just a hair better than Bob Gibson. I do hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope you guys enjoy all of my comparison videos and just all of my videos in general. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Goodbye!